Studios in Long Beach, California. Thunder Friday Night Fights brought to you by DMG Promotions. 10 fights coming your way, an action-packed card. Thanks for joining us wherever you may be as we get ready for Friday night action. Beto Duran alongside the crime-fighting cut man, my favorite right here, Mike Rodriguez. Mentioned 10 fights coming your way. Thank you for hanging out with us. Make sure you follow the DMG Promotions social media accounts for great behind-the-scenes coverage of what's going on. DMG launched not too long ago, and Mike, they're quickly making a name for themselves in the boxing scene. What do you like about them?
Well, in only 1 year, look what they've done. Action-packed cards, rising prospect, contenders. They're looking to even expand this year. Humongous things for DMB in 2026.
All right, DMG, they're making noise, but they're also signing young prospects, giving an opportunity to shine, and we're going to see some of those young fighters tonight. Who are some of the ones you're looking forward to?
This Jose Medrano Jr. from Salinas, California, back as Perla Baltazua. Yep. And then we got some contenders in Lawrence King, Samuel Arnold, and the heavyweight Cassius Chaney.
And also, they're making some noise with fights that are not here tonight. Brandon Cannon Adams.
Yeah, Brandon out that great win on the Canelo Crawford card with Suhey Buyachek. He's put himself in line for a major title shot, and guess what? He's signed with DMG.
There you go. 10 fights coming your way. Again, make sure you follow the DMG social media accounts to keep track of what's going on and upcoming fights. All right, we're ready to go. 10 fights on a Friday night. DMG at Thunder Studios in Long Beach. It's time for our first fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now set to go 4 rounds in the super featherweight division. Introducing to you first, out of the blue corner. He is wearing the blue trunks trimmed with red, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, officially weighing in at a ready 130 pounds, holding a professional record of 2 losses from San Pedro, Honduras, presenting Kevin Gavilan Gomez. And his opponent across the ring, out of the red corner, wearing the navy blue trunks trimmed with white, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, officially weighing in at 128.6 pounds, holding a professional record of 1 victory by way of knockout and no defeats, fighting out of Salinas, California, introducing Zurito Jose Antonio Medrano Jr. Your referee in charge of the action, Ivan Guillermo.
I'm gonna let you work to right about here. Voy a trabajar hasta aquí, okay? Tenemos 4 rounds, 4 rounds. Let's have a good clean fight. Good luck.
All right, we get ready to go. Our opening bout of the night. Jose Medrano Jr., the 18-year-old from Salinas, California, taking on Kevin Gomez. Kevin here tonight from Honduras, now living in LA. He's a tough guy. Both times he's been in the ring is Gomez in the red, white, and blue. He's gone the distance against guys making his debut. I think he's stepping up in caliber of opposition tonight because Jose Medrano Jr., from what I've been hearing about him, and Mike, you talk to people, this kid had a good amateur background, good pedigree, and he looks the part.
He definitely looks the part. He's tall, he's rangy. I was joking with him before because I worked with Ruben Villa and my son and I for a long time, and I said, hey, when you were younger and you used to spar, he used to get the better of you, and he said, absolutely. I said, how's it looking now? And they both kind of laughed and had a nice chuckle and rolled your eyes, and that's a nice, straight, in-range left hand.
Yeah, Zurdito is his nickname. This is our opening bout. This was scheduled for 4 rounds. Up next will be the heavyweight Valery Tataya from Russia and Rudy Hernandez. So we got back-to-back heavyweights coming up here from Thunder Studios in Long Beach, California. Try to find some video on Kevin Gomez. Not much out there, so looks like he's going to have that herky-jerky style.
And you know, for young guys, they got to be careful with those guys that didn't have a big amateur pedigree, and sometimes they move in a different way, and you got to be careful to keep your range, or you end up with a headbutt or an elbow.
And his father, Jose Sr., is in the corner, as is Ruben Villa the fourth, good fighter, featherweight division. Andres Sam Garcia in the corner, as also is Joshua Hernandez.
I like to see a good young fighter, but he did. He just didn't settle for the head. He went right down to the body, and he's maintaining range just like that. And that's what you want to do. You want to keep fighters at the end of your punching.
Yeah, good body work early on. And that's something that you and I have talked about over the years, Mike, when you have a young kid and first couple fights, they come out like they're shot out of a cannon. I like Zurdito's calm presence early on the fight.
Yeah, and it's allowing him to select good shots. And I think DMG, hats off to them for having a nice, young, good prospect open things up.
Yeah.
It's like a band that's coming out to perform and they play a good song right off the bat. It gets everybody involved.
The tall fighter is Medrano in the white and blue. Sneaking that jab, lands upstairs, going to the body. Good hook from Medrano. Good body work again. Good combination from the 18-year-old. And the fighter from Honduras holding on. That's smart right there.
Yeah, he's a little buzzed. The tower was buzzed. Let me tell you something. This kid's tough. He's a tough kid. He may not have a lot of refined skills, but he's willing to fight.
He's got that neck tattoo, so you know he's tough.
Yeah, that's painful.
Yeah, but you're right, Mike, though. He was buzzed. Now he's dealing against the ropes. Body shots from Medrano.
As you can see, he's starting to turtle up now.
Yeah.
He's not trying to give any offense. He's trying to protect himself.
Yeah, those body shots are starting to take a toll. Buzzed again upstairs, this time from a right hook by Medrano. Final seconds of the opening round, scheduled for DMG Promotions in Long Beach at Thunder Studios on a fantastic Friday night.
As we take a look at some action there, and there's Medrano pinning him up against the ropes. I like the way he's keeping range. As you mentioned earlier, he's very calm and he's very poised, and I think that's going to bode well for him as we enter round 2.
We talk about this a lot, the development of a young fighter, how they come out, but you can see there's certain fighters that grew up in the gym, just like you're saying. The Garcias took care of them in Salinas, Fight Town, right? The Salad Bowl. But it's also going to the bigger tournaments, going to the good sparring, being around the sport. This kid does not look like he's 18-year-old Medrano. He's very nice and calm. I like it.
Yeah, and I asked him, what gym are you out of? And in typical Garcia fashion, they will travel to get good training and good sparring, because you'll see them at the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy with a lot of their fighters. And they said, we kind of go where we need to go to get the good work.
And that's a good sign for Medrano, because he's already outgrown his own gym, his own city, so you got to go get that work. And Northern California, the boxing scene, you're from up there, Mike, it's not as strong as it used to be back in the day, so everybody's got to come down here, and he's doing the work.
Absolutely. Back in the 70s and 80s and even early 90s it was, but for whatever reason, Southern California is that hotbed, which it's always been.
In Sacramento, you got to throw out the Tony the Tiger Lopez, right?
Loreto Garza, Pete Ranzani, Sal Lopez. There was a lot of good fighters there in the 70s and 80s and early 90s.
Chico Corrales.
Absolutely.
And Medrano, who's got a little Chico look to him, is unloading right now. Combinations, and somehow Gomez slipped a few, but not that time. He gets buzzed again. Hook from Zurrito. Going upstairs. Body work now from the 18-year-old Medrano. Digging into the body. That buckled the knees of Gomez, and he is tough, Mike. And he lands his own hook of his own.
Yes, and I think the referee, Ivan Guillermo, who's an excellent referee, you can see him watching intently, because you don't want a kid like Gomez to take unnecessary punishment.
But every now and then he'll slip one in there that keeps Medrano honest.
Yeah, he's definitely willing to fight. But sometimes fighters like this, you may hit him in his corner, they may have to protect themselves from himself.
Gomez showing he can take a shot upstairs. This dude is tough. And both fights that Gomez had were against good, talented fighters who are making their debuts.
And when you're 0-2 and maybe he's going to be 0-3, you're never going to get an easy touch. Especially if you can go rounds and you're tough and you can be part of the development of a good young fighter. What he lacks in skills, Beto, he definitely makes up in will. But I like what I'm seeing from Zurrito. I would like to see him jab a little more. I think he could even open up a lot more things. I think, because he landed some good power shots as we close out round 1, he wants to load up on everything.
Which is natural for an 18-year-old.
100%.
Or somebody who's only a second pro fighter.
go to some action from round 2. It was more of the same from round 1, but I think Medrano hurt Gomez a little more that round. He was sitting down on his punches, but he also got a little bit closer to Gomez, and Gomez was winging back as much as he could.
It's good work right here for Jose Medrano Jr., who turned pro in September of last year. He got a first-round KO, so the first time, you know, he's getting hit as a pro. There's resistance there.
Yes, absolutely. There's no headgear. The gloves are a lot smaller. You're fighting, you know, not fully grown men sometimes, but guys that are well on their way to manhood.
Somebody's not going to buckle like Gomez.
One thing the DMG does an excellent job of, that first fight usually has a fighter, whether it be male or female, that you may see in a year or two move down the card into a co-main event or a main event. And hats off to the matchmaking on that.
They set up the tone for the night also.
Yes, absolutely. That's what you want to do. You want to get the crowd involved. And you also want a good action fight. You don't want it just to have a blowout. And as the young fighter develops, you want him to do things to have to develop. There has to be some professional resistance.
I see what you're talking about, Mike, about throwing that jab. He's a taller fighter. He's got the advantage.
And a lot of taller fighters just don't jab enough.
Well, I think most fighters don't jab enough, right? When they're starting off in their career.
Absolutely.
I mean, how many times have you been in the cut man? Of course, you're always in the corner, but you hear jab.
I don't think you can ever jab too much. As you're starting to see, Gomez's face is starting to show the wear and tear of getting hit with lots of clean shots these first 2 rounds. And there you go. He's maintaining his range, and he's not giving Gomez any options for any offense right now.
Medrano, a tall fighter, weighing 128, 130 is the limit. There's the body shots, but this is, you're talking about Gomez, a grown man at 27 who can take those shots. Here's where you want to see activity.
Yeah, a little bit of bounce. He might have got a little bit, not saying he's fatigued, but he might have burned off some good steam those first 2 rounds. But I don't mind what he's doing right now. He's being very deliberate, and he's landing that 1-2. That's about the 4th 1-2 that he's landed this round.
And that's what you want to do.
Yeah, and he's keeping his head movement. He's not pulling straight back. He's got that good knee bend. A lot of fighters, even if they're tall, they don't realize they can have a nice knee bend so they can shift from one side to the other. It helps their offense. It helps their defense.
I know we're going to sound like broken records, but you'd rather have something like this, rounds and minutes and punches and resistance, than a 30-second knockout.
Well, there's a reason on their official boxing record it says how many rounds they've actually, professional rounds they've actually fought, and that's great. Because at some point, not everybody's just gonna go down, and you're gonna have to dig into the toolbox because he lands some good punches, and you can see Gomez shaking his head off. But usually when somebody's shaking their head, you know what that means.
Yeah, it means it hurt. Final seconds of round number 3. Good action so far from Jose Medrano Jr. You're talking about that, Mike. Some of these young fighters that'll have the blown-up records are like, oh, 19-0, 19 KOs. I mean, Berlanga, perfect example, right?
Yeah, and you see that, and as soon as you get somebody with that's just not going to agree and go down to what they want to do, they're going to fight back. But the one thing I would like to see this round is I would like to see him go for the stoppage now.
Step on the gas?
A little bit. I think he's in position. He's done enough work to soften Gomez up. As we look at some action from the round, he's shifting his body just right, throwing good solid punches. He's not tying himself up. You see Gomez is kind of in a defensive retreat. But Medrano's not falling for it. He's not
Ladies
giving
and gentlemen, this is the 4th and final round.
4th and final round, the winner is known. Up next will be the heavyweight, Valery Tadayov against Sonny Anzaldúa. Then Rudy Hernandez Chucho making his pro debut against Jalen Davis. Still working our way towards Brianda Cruz. Also got Lawrence King, Samuel Arnold, Perla Bazaldúa, Samuel Isaac, and then Cassius Chaney against Alexander Flores in the main event.
3
heavyweights.
3 heavyweight fights tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to go from guys that weigh 130 pounds to the next 2 fights, one guy weighing almost 280. So So this is what he needs to do right now. He needs to step to him with some authority, put some power on that jab, and I think Gomez is right for the taking right there. And I think he needs to get back to that body with some combinations of the body and the head, especially right now as you see Gomez just kind of turtled up and covering up, which means he's really not in position to punch.
Yeah, Gomez has landed a few, but nothing with power or anything that's going to make you want to stop you in your tracks. There's the 18-year-old Medrano, the southpaw, looking good here.
Everything that Medrano's thrown and landed has been more of in a defensive survival mode. But no doubt about it, Medrano's a good-looking prospect, and I like that body work.
And if you said Mike he's getting work at Robert Garcia, then you just know that the wars he's going through over there.
Yes, and it's not just the wars, just being around world-class fighters like Virgil Ortiz, Oscar Duartes, and Bam Rodriguez. I mean, they're just...
Mouthpiece goes flying. Into the corner is Gomez, gets out of there, spins him around. That's a veteran move for a guy with only 2 fights. Knowing how to spin and move and find a way to get a breather and fly some snot out of that nose. Gomez breathing heavy right now.
Yeah, he's definitely breathing heavy, and I think that body work is flattening the tires.
This is what you're talking about, Mike, the step up in the action for Medrano?
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get him out of there. He's throwing nice authoritative punches, and he's looking for the right shot. I think I like that move, maintaining your range and looking for the right shot. Not necessarily what you want to throw, what's available. Just like you see him, he's peering, he's looking at him, he's shifting, good body shot right there. The one thing is he gets older and stronger, he's going to learn to turn that hook over. Right now it's still kind of a slapping hook where he's hitting him on the side of the ear. If he shit, that's a
nice uppercut, the first one of the night.
That was a great uppercut.
He's also learning how to make the adjustment or the technique from amateurs to pros, where amateurs, they reward more than slapping, right?
Yes, and as you start to get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fights, you're going to start sitting down on your punches because you realize professional boxing is about knocking your guy out. Another good uppercut. I think Ivan Guillermo, even though there's only a few seconds left, he's looking intently at Gomez.
Gomez is a tough dude. It looks like he's going to survive the 4 tough rounds. It's Jose Medrano. Zurdito from Salinas opens up the night. Looking good here. Thunder Studios, DMG Promotion. Next will be the heavyweights, Valerie Tadaev and Sunny Anzaldúa. Make sure you follow DMG social media accounts for all the behind-the-scenes actions of what's going on.
We got a Sunny Anzaldúa and a Perla Balsadúa.
Yeah. All right, coming back, we'll give you the results. DMG live on from Thunder Studios.
Adrenaline Plus presents the premier destination for combat sports returns to the center of the ring. Heart meets heat, and every strike is felt. This is Friday Night Fights, live from Thunder Studios. The next edition hits Friday, February 27th. Don't miss a second of the action.
Back inside Thunder Studios, ready for the referee or the judges to let us know who won this first fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds, we head to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges see it the same, 40-36 for your winner by unanimous decision and still undefeated, Zurdito Jose Antonio Medrano Jr.
Would definitely like to see him again back real soon. He's a good-looking young man, and he's a really good fighter with a good pedigree. Big things ahead for him.
Yeah, the 18-year-old came out, took care of business, suits the cards, 40-36. Exactly what you want to see from him. And that's what you're supposed to do, Mike. You take care of business, don't mess around.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now set to go 4 rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing to you first, out of the blue corner, He is wearing the black trunks, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, officially weighing in at 253 pounds. Holding a professional record of 1 loss, he hails from Harlingen by way of Houston, Texas. Presenting Sonny El Gladiator Anzaldúa. And his opponent across the ring out of the red corner. He's wearing the white trunks, standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, officially weighing in at 225 pounds. Holding a professional record of 3 victories, no defeats. All of his wins coming to you by way of knockout. Representing Hollywood by way of Vladikavkaz, Russia. Introducing Valery Tatai. Your referee in charge, Gerard White.
Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. We all know what we expect out of each other. Keep them up, nothing behind the head. Fight hard, fight clean. Bell line's good here. I'm gonna let him work to right here, all right? Let's go to work, fellas.
Gerard White, the third man in the ring. Fernando Villarreal, Zachary Young, and Carla Caiz are judges. This was scheduled for 4 rounds of the heavyweight division. Beto Duran, alongside the crime fighting cut man Mike Rodriguez with you. Rolando Nichols, the producer, director extraordinaire in the truck as we get ready for this one. It's going to be interesting because the Russian Tatayev, 3-0, all via stoppages. His debut in 2021 was first round. And then in 24, he had a 4th round KO. And his last fight, his U.S. debut in December, was a 1st round KO. He had over 100 amateur fights, was part of the Russian national team. He's from the southern part of Russia. And he said the reason he had a 3-year break is because he wanted to work on getting to the United States. His dream, as he said, was always fighting the United States on the big stages. So much so that when he got here 2 years ago, he taught himself English. He got apps and started watching English TV and was having a real good conversation yesterday with myself and Marvin Somodio about just living in the United States and fighting. An interesting guy. He has Igis Klimas on the side as his manager.
Yes, I was gonna mention that, and maybe it was worth the wait for him that 3 years because Igis Klimas, we know, has moved with Alexander Usyk and Lomachenko and just a host of other world champions. I've had the good fortune to work as a cut man for some of his fighters internationally, and I'm real interested to see how this fight goes. I'd imagine because of those 100 amateur fights, he has really good fundamental skills.
And Igis does not mess around with guys that he cannot move.
No, not at all.
Oh, good check hook from Tatayev.
There's no wasted movement. He's really sound in the fundamentals. He's got that Eastern European, that Russian style.
And he knows his boxing. You know, there's some fighters who just don't really pay attention. He's like, no, Ruzan Provodnikov. He was talking about him. He was talking about Lebedev. Big right hand! Oh, the Russian knocking him down here in the first round. Woo-wee, that was a big one. They're going to let it continue. I don't know how much longer this is going to go.
That was a great right hand. There's
loading up again. Oh, man, it's only a matter of time. Gerard White ready to jump on in. There's Valery Tateyev is teeing off. Oh, another big right, and that ends it. A first round KO for Valery Tateyev. He's down 4-0.
Wow. He hit him so hard I could see he was unconscious on his feet, and I actually thought he was going to fall into our laps. Great job by referee Gerard White. He was on top of it, like you said. He let it go, but he was watching really close, and he wanted to make sure that Sonny Anzaldúa did not get hurt. And you can see the right hand, no wasted movement. He's got him pinned up against the rope, so the overhand right there. Right there, he was hurt. And props to the referee, Gerard White, for holding him up, because he's a big guy, and you don't want him hitting that canvas hard because it could sustain more damage.
Here's that first knockdown.
And you can see the ref talking to him, and that was the finishing shot.
Yeah, that great job, reverse angle there.
Yeah, that put it in big context, how he punched within range with that right hand.
Doctors jump onto the mat right away. Dr. Andre Guerrero is checking out. More hype. Here's the first knockdown.
And then you can see him moving in the middle of the ring in a nice short right hand. And you know what? It came after a good jab. And the fundamentals of boxing, that 1-2 will work more times than not. Klimas has got to be happy with that. I'm not sure if he's here tonight.
No, he's not. All right, ring announcer ready to make it official. He told me. All right, let's look at what happened. Good to see that Anzaldúa is responsive to the doctors. He got tagged hard. He got hit hard. A lot of heart for that dude. He took a lot of pain from Tatayev.
And it wasn't so much volume. It was about 3 really hard shots that were right on the button. I'm glad he's okay. I think he hurt his leg as well when he went down.
Yeah, it got twisted up.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Gerard White called a stop to the contest at 2 minutes, 9 seconds of the very first round. For your winner by knockout, Valery Tatai.
He's now 4-0, all by stoppages. Only 23 years old, you're right, as Anzaldúa is walking out slowly. I think he did hurt his knee on the twist. Didn't go down, but yeah. Again, limited opposition, but at the end of the day, power is power. That young man has it.
Yes, it was only his second fight in the United States. They will up the competition when it is the right time. He's still a young heavyweight. A young heavyweight at 23, at 220, 25 pounds. His body's still developing as a heavyweight. He will look much different in 5 years, both record and body-wise.
All right, let's look at the tail of the tape. Well, there you see. The height difference is the big difference. And then the weight difference on the side of Chucho. That's right, 282 and Davis is 212. So this is Deontay Wilder-esque against Andy Ruiz-esque.
Yeah, let's hold off on that now.
Sizes.
Oh, sizes.
That's it. I gotta get your attention, Mike. Ring announcer's ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now set to go 4 rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing to you first, out of the blue corner. He is wearing the brown and black trunks, standing 6 feet 7 inches tall, officially weighing in at 212.1 pounds, holding a professional record of 1 win, 4 losses, hailing from Sacramento, California, presenting Jalen Davis. His adversary across the ring, out of the red corner. He is wearing the black trunks, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, officially weighing in at 282 pounds even. He is making his professional boxing debut, and he is the pride of South Central Los Angeles. Introducing Rudy Chucho Hernandez.
Rudy brought a little bit of a crowd with him tonight.
Referee in charge, Ray Almendarez.
Come up to the other side. All right, gentlemen, look here. For you, from here, I'm gonna let you work from here on up. For you, I'm gonna let you work from here on up. Gave you both instructions in the dressing room. I expect a clean, fair fight between the 2 of you. Touch them up if you want. Back to your corner, gents.
All right. Beth Duran, Mike Rodriguez with you.
Beto had a chance to talk to referee Ray Armendariz. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He was a referee in the amateurs when he got out of the Marine Corps in '98, and he's been a professional ref. He's in his 8th year of being a professional ref, and he just loves the fight game. He moved to California to pursue his professional refereeing career.
Yeah, he lives out there in the Coachella Valley, so when he's not working to fight at Coachella, he's at the fights working it. So, fight fan here.
And Chucho comes right out ready to walk him down.
Yeah, Chucho is going to stand in the middle and trade with you. Some of the promotion videos that DMG was putting out of him hitting the bag, it looked like he has some pop behind him.
Well, at 5'11" and 283, I would hope so. But can he take it? Because Davis is coming out winging with those long arms. But he's pulling back every time, so he's susceptible to getting countered as he's pulling out. And I think Chucho did a good job right there by bending his knees, covering and moving his head, and letting Davis make a mistake.
And that's why Davis, in his 4 losses, all of them via KO. He's been knocked out in the first round 3 times, and once in the 3rd.
Yeah, he won his pro debut, and he might have thought things were looking up, but the heavyweight division is not for the faint of heart, as he takes a good right hand, and Chucho tries to pin him in the corner as they get back to the center of the ring.
Chucho's not trying to chase anybody right now. You weigh 282. You're not trying to run, bro. There's that left that dropped him here early in the first. Chucho's celebrating there. You have to tell him, no, you got to go to the neutral corner.
Yeah, Chucho's happy to be here, and after that knockdown, you're not going to be able to tell him any different. That ring is getting awful small for Davis right now.
He lands a left that splits the guard of Davis.
The problem is when he lands, he's out of position defensively. So any short shot, and tall guys usually don't take good punches.
And goes down for the 2nd time, does Davis. Slid on his stomach through the ropes, almost hit our Spanish broadcast crew. Admiral Morris, watch out over there. He was safe, Mike. He was safe at home on that one.
He did. He was definitely safe. But in a minute here, he might be out.
He's been down twice. And he's down for the 3rd time, and it is over. A 1st round stoppage for Chucho Hernandez in his pro debut. Davis trying to plead his case. Ray Armendariz said, nah, man, we've seen enough of this.
It's hard to plead your case because he's a very unorthodox fighter as it is. He's long and gangly. So sometimes when you're long and gangly, when you get hit, it looks worse than it is.
2:06 of the 1st round for Chucho Hernandez from South Central. Welcome to the pro ranks.
Beto, we're moving right along.
The broadcaster jinx. There you go. Mike, welcome to the world of TV.
You know what? I want to hang around.
We still got a 10-round main event to go, Mike.
I want to hang around. I got nothing else to do tonight.
Mike, everybody in the truck is cursing your name right now.
And a good job by referee Ray Armendariz. He's really on top of things.
Look at the replay here, Mike.
Yeah, and you see Davis winging that, telegraphing his punch. So every time he punched, he was wide open. And it really didn't take much for Chucho just to throw a left hook with some power behind it. Because when you're off balance, and here we go, he's kind of shrinking the ring, and then he goes down again, and that's the end of it. That was the 3rd knockdown. And there was just no way referee Ray Armendariz could let that continue. So good call on his part. We've seen some good refereeing tonight already.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at just 2 minutes, 6 seconds of the very 1st round. For your winner by knockout in his professional debut, Rudy Chucho Hernandez.
Rudy Hernandez, Chucho, shows up to Thunder Studios, gets the victory, the 1st round KO in his pro debut. Quick timeout. Coming up next, we got Brianda Cruz. The women are going to go at it from Thunder Studios in Long Beach.
Adrenaline Plus presents the premier destination for combat sports returns to the center of the ring. Heart meets heat, and every strike is felt. This is Friday Night Fights, live from Thunder Studios. The next edition hits Friday, February 27th. Don't miss a second of the action. Some people watch, others live it. This is where the edge of culture streams. No filters, no fake hype. Just non-stop adrenaline. Adrenaline Plus TV. Feel the rush. Boxing, MMA, Muay Thai, esports tournaments, influencer challenges. Adrenaline Plus TV is the home of live events because every weekend something is happening. Turn it all the way up.